In this video, I'm going to show you how to upload images to Imgur or Imgur, however it's pronounced, from Neovim. We're going to upload the images in an authenticated way, so that means that we will upload them to our account. There's also another way of doing this. You can upload the images unauthenticated, so they're not going to be linked to your account. I'll show you both ways. This is not a plugin. This is a keymap that I configured. Here is the keymap. Notice that this is for macOS because that's the OS that I use. If you use Linux, it's going to try to upload the images, but I haven't tested it. So if it doesn't work for Linux, adapt it. And if you want to submit a PR, that's fine. I can merge it. There's another note that you see here. Make sure that there's an image in your clipboard before running this, or a token that is needed, which is the access token, is going to be refreshed. I don't have time to validate if there's an image in the clipboard before uploading it. So if you want to fix this as well, go ahead and do so. If you can submit a PR, and I'll merge it. So the way that I prefer doing this is to upload the images directly to my account. This keymap is going to automatically refresh the access token that is needed because that token expires every month, and it's going to read it from a file that we will specify below. So first of all, as you can see here, if we want to upload the images to our own account, we have to follow the registration quick start section in this directory. So just let me go there. Just going to press GX. Here you're going to find the documentation. So let's scroll down a little bit. We're going to go down here, need help, register an application, and here's the registration quick start. We're going to do it using Postman because it's just simpler, so make sure you have it installed. Notice that the first link that we see here is register your application. So I'm just going to open this in a new tab. Let's switch there, and it's just going to ask us for an application name. Notice that I'm logged in already to my account. You can see that in the top right corner. So I'm just going to give this an application name. I'm just going to name it Neovim demo. Okay. Here under authorization callback URL, you're going to notice that we have to type this in. This is the callback URL. Just going to grab this, going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it here. That is what we need. Oh, let me just open my Keycaster application so you can see what I'm typing. Let's see if it works. There we go. Okay, so callback. We have the URL specified correctly there. Application website is optional. The only other thing that you need to enter here is your email. I'm just going to type it in, and after typing my email in, going to click the CAPTCHA thingy and hit submit. So you're not gonna see this part in the video. Okay, so notice that after doing that, now I have my client ID and my client secrets. Don't worry, I'm going to delete this keys or this application after the video is recorded. Okay, so just gonna copy this. I'll go back to Neovim. I have this file here. Here's where I'm going to specify the client ID and the client secret. Let me just copy this, and I'm just going to paste it back here in my terminal. So I have them in the right place. Client ID and also the client secret. Okay, yep. Those should be good now. Let's go back to the browser. Let's go back to this other tab. If we scroll down a little bit here, notice that it says here to click the authorization tab and get new access token. We need to set these two URLs, client ID and client secret. So let's do this. Let me grab this first. Just gonna copy this link. I'll go to Postman. I'm in a new collection here. Doesn't matter where you are. I'm gonna go to authorization. Make sure you select here auth 2. Then under auth URL, you need to paste this in auth URL. Now under access token URL, just gonna copy this, copy, and the access token URL, paste it there. Client ID and the client secret. So I have those here. Just gonna copy the client ID, and I should paste that here under client ID. Client secrets, I have that here. Just copy it. Paste it under client secret. Let's see what else we need here in the documentation. Then we have to click request token. Okay, so let's scroll down here then. At the very bottom, you're going to see the button, get new access token. So let's click that. I got this error. Let me see why. Oh, it's because I'm missing the callback URL here. Notice that in the example, we see the callback URL, but we don't have it specified there. So let's just grab it from here, copy, paste the callback URL. Now we got it. Let's click get new access token again. It's going to ask us to log in. I'm just going to type my credentials here, my username and password. Then I'm going to click on allow, get new access token. Notice that this will automatically close, and I got the information that I needed here. I'm going to need the access token, so I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it here under access token. I'm also going to need the refresh token, so I'm just going to copy this as well. Refresh token, it's there. Let's just make sure that the client ID is correct, 44, and the client secrets, E83. So client ID 44, secrets, E83. So this seems okay. I'm just going to close this. I already have the information that I need in this file. This is all you're going to need. So now that we have that information, let's switch back to the other tmux session where the keymap is. Here you have to specify copy the path to where those credentials are stored. Okay, so notice that this is in this directory, and this is the file that we see here. You can see it at the very top is where you can see the path. So just make sure that you point to this file in the keymap. If you have different names for the variables in that file, make sure that you modify them here on the right hand side. But notice that mine match. Okay, so the same names that I have here are the same names that I have here on the left. So we should be good there. And in theory, that should be it. Let's give it a try. Going to switch to my Obsidian repo right now, and I'm just going to try to paste an image here. Let me open my clipboard. Just gonna copy this image, and I'm gonna press Control F. That is the keymap that I configured. Access token not found. Okay, I think I know why. I'm gonna quit Neovim, and I'm going to reopen it and restore the session. I'm going to grab this again, copy, now Control F, uploading the image. You can see it on the bottom right corner. It was uploaded, and now let's see if it was uploaded to my account or if it was uploaded anonymously. So I'm just gonna press GX here. And as you can tell, this has been uploaded to my account. How do I know? Because I see here this delete post. If it was not linked to your account, you wouldn't see this at all. But let's make sure. I'm just going to go to my profile on the top right corner, and I will go here to the images section, I think. Let's see if it's there. This is the right place. So I have 2 images listed here. The refresh token never expires. The refresh token is the one that we had. Where is that? Let me switch to the other tmux session. This one. This token does not expire, but the access token expires every month. So the script is going to automatically take care of that for you. Let's simulate that this token expired. Just gonna change what I have here. Just gonna add something else. Test token, for example. We know for sure that this is not a valid token. Let's go back to the file again. And the keymap is going to read from that file directly. Let's take another screenshot. Okay, so I'm just going to take a screenshot here with my mouse. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this here in Neovim. I'm just gonna press Control F because that is what I configured. Notice that the access token was refreshed successfully. What happens if we go back to Imgur or Imager, whatever its name is? We're going to notice that the image is in my account. Let's go back to the other tmux session. We're going to see that the access token was updated here. Notice that this token ends in 2D7C. Let's upload another image so that you can see that it's not going to generate another token. Just going to take a screenshot here, this part, okay? Just that small section there. I'm just going to press Control F, uploading the image, and the token was not refreshed. Just uploaded the image. If we go back to the other tmux session, still have the same token here. If we go back to our Imager account, the image is uploaded there. There is one caveat that you need to be aware of. If you don't have an image in your clipboard, I haven't added validation so that it tells you that there's not an image. So it's just going to think that the token is not valid and it's just going to refresh it. Let's give that a try. 7C, that's what this one ends in. I'm just going to go to my clipboard. This is not an image, so I'm just going to copy this and I'm just going to press Control F here. Notice that it refreshed the token and I got an error message there. Let's go back to the other tmux session. It refreshed it. So if you have time to fix this, like I said at the beginning of the video, submit a PR and I'll merge it. Or maybe I'll fix it in the future. I don't know. But for now, just make sure that you have an image in your clipboard before you run this command. So why is this useful? Why do I do this? Sometimes you need to share an image with someone, right? And you just need to send them a link. I have a tool in macOS that does this for me. If I press Hyper 9, you're going to see here that CleanShot X. If I press this button here, it's going to upload it to CleanShot and it's going to give me a link that I can share with someone. But that is stored in their server. So if I cancel my CleanShot service, all those images are gone. The other images that I see here on the left-hand side are in Imager. The service has been up for years. So if they're gone, but at least I trust them a little bit. So I would prefer to have the images there. So where do you find this keymap, and what if you're using Linux? The command that uploads the images to Imgur is the one that you see here, at least for macOS. We keep scrolling down here a little bit. It detects if you're using Unix or Mac Unix. This is the command that I use in macOS, but if you're using Linux, it's going to try to use this using xclip. If you're using a Wayland-based system, you should comment this and uncomment this. Like I said, I don't use Linux. I haven't tested this. Go ahead and give it a try. Let us know what works down in the comments. And if we keep scrolling down here, this is just the rest of the code and the keymap. This is where I specified the keymap that I used. If we scroll down a little bit here, down here, Control F, so you can set it to whatever you like. Where can you find this in my .files? If we come here to my .files latest directory, notice that I'm at 194 stars right now. If you like what you find in my .files, make sure to give this a star. So where do you find this keymap then? If we go here to go to File, keymaps.lua under the Neovim directory, open this file, and you're going to find it here. Notice the path to this file is the exact same path that we see here at the top. So whenever I'm working on a file, you can see which file that is by looking at this. I recently switched from wezterm to ghostty. That's the terminal emulator that I'm using right now. It's been working working great. If you want to know how I set it up, I go over everything in detail. I have 2 videos. First, you should watch this video. And after you watch this video, you can watch the other one, which is the newest one, because wezterm can also be as fast as ghostty. So if you're interested in that, go and check the video out. Something else that I've been working on right now, notice that I'm going to press comma here, my keyboard, a tmux pane opens. Notice that it opened in the exact same directory where I was at. So that's something pretty useful. If I switch to normal mode here on the right hand side, notice that I switched to normal mode. And if I press comma again, it's going to switch to the left and it's going to maximize this tmux pane. If I hit comma again, switches to that other pane. And if I hit it again, switches back and maximizes it. I can switch back and forth if I don't want to press comma. I press Control H, Control L to switch between them. And the nice thing about this is that notice that the background changes color on the pane that is not active. So it's easier to identify where your cursor is. If you'd like to know how I set this up, let me know down in the comments. I think it's pretty useful because I've been working a lot with Kubernetes files at work. Sometimes you're working on a file, you need to have your command line available at your fingertips. So this helps me a lot. I work on a file, I open the command line by pressing comma, do whatever I need to do there, switch back to my file. This was one way of doing it. The other way of achieving the same thing is without authentication. All you need for this is a client ID. The keymap is here. So if you don't want to do it authenticated, you can comment the keymap above. You can uncomment this other keymap and you're going to notice that the only thing that you need to specify here is the client ID, or the only thing that it checks for is the client ID. And you can see that here. So if you want to use this method, you don't need to do the postman authentication part. You just get the client ID, save it in your file, and that's it. The only downside is that the images are not going to be linked to your profile. You cannot delete them, so they're just going to be publicly out there. The images that I uploaded right now, can anyone see them? Yeah, of course. Let me switch to my browser real quick, and I'm going to click on this one. Now, you know what? I'm going to click on this one. Here is the image link. I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to open an incognito window. I'm going to paste this here. Let's see if I can see it. Yes, of course. So you can share this image. Notice that I'm not even signed in. Another big benefit is that if you want to see images in Neovim, you can do so as well. Notice that this image is being loaded from a URL, but it's rendered correctly. Okay, so that's not a problem at all. I can even see the image. I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to paste it here. And let's see if we can view this image. Let me just add a few lines here so we can see it. Yeah, and it's right there. This is just a little app that I'm using to take notes. So I'm just going to delete this. I'm going to switch back to my other terminal here. If you don't want to upload your images to Imgur, if you want to have them locally on your computer, you can do that as well. I save them in the AVIF format because they don't occupy much space at all. So that's pretty useful. Let me give you an example here. I'm just going to open my clipboard again. Just going to copy this image and I'm going to press Control A here. Notice that the image has been pasted. And if we look at the format is AVIF and this image was stored locally. If you want to know how I view images in Neovim, but most importantly, how I save images in Neovim in the AVIF format, you can watch the video that I have here, View Paste Images in Neovim, and I explain everything there in detail. You can save the images in different formats, AVIF, WebP, PNG, JPG, however you prefer it. I use this plugin as well to paste images in my blog post. Let me open that right now. Notice that this is the last article that I posted, and the images are stored locally. I use a different keymap that stores the images in this specific directory, in the assets directory, in the AVIF format. So makes it pretty simple to upload images to my blog post. If you're interested in me making a video about this, just let me know. If by any chance you own an Apple Watch and you would like to receive the authentication notifications in your watch instead of typing the password, notice that I'm going to type it in here right now. I got a confirmation on my watch. I'm just going to double tap this button and that is going to authenticate me. I also have a video for that. It's the last video that I recorded 4 days ago. So you can find that video here. Go and check it out. I think it's pretty useful if you spend a lot of time in your terminal. Okay, so that's a lot of recommendations. I hope that this video was useful. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you have another way of doing this. Let me know if you find it useful and if feedback is appreciated. That's it for today. I'll see you in the next video.